Good evening, BookTube, YouTube. This is Johnny. Thought I'd make a video. Today I went to Bluestocking's bookshop, $1 a bag sale. So you can fill a bag up with books and pay $1. And I got that on I'm on Facebook with Bluestockings. And this morning, they open up at 10 o'clock. And so I went to the $1 bag sale, and I thought I might as well just show you the books. I have other used books I bought at Gateway Resale Shop this week. That's only about 8 books, but I'll show those in a future video. Oh no, I have over there not only Gateway, but I bought some books from Bluestockings too, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, I bought some used books from thrift stores around here. But I thought I would just show you in this video, which is October the 26th, 2023, is 7:05. I'm down the lower level because my wife is watching the PBS News. And I find it too despairing, too distressing, too depressing to watch the news. And I have to watch it because I don't want to fall over the edge of despair when I look at what's going on in the world and what's going on in the Middle East and Eastern Europe and Washington, D.C. among the Republicans and the Christian nationalists and all this very depressing, especially when you're a student of American history like I am. I'm not saying there's not been bad times in American history, but in my lifetime I've never seen it so worse. As far as politics in America, I can't believe it. Anyway, I thought I'd show you the books, what I got for $1 a bag at Bluestocking Bookshop, which is here in Holland, Michigan. I go there about at least twice a month. It's only about 5-6 minutes from where we live. But as you know, I just go around the resale shops around where I live. Like there's Legacy, just a couple blocks, and down the street there's Action House, and then up a ways is Goodwill, and then there's Gateway. So I usually go to those, and then of course I get books from Amazon. I buy used books from Amazon. I got this book from, talk about Amazon books, I got this book this week, The Valley of the Fallen by Carlos Rojas, translated from the Spanish by Edith Grossman. This is kind of historical fiction on the life of the Spanish painter Galga. I always forget how to pronounce it. It's Galga? No, it's Gulia. So that's what I got in the mail. I don't know if there's any pictures of him in here, but I have books. But anyway, it's this historical novel by one of Spain's most celebrated authors weaves a tale of desperate time periods, the early years of the 19th century when Francisco de Goya was at the height of his artistic career, in the final years of General Massimo Franco's fascist rule in the 1970s. Rojas recreates the 19th century corridors of power and betrays the relationship between Goya and King Ferdinand VII, a despot bent on establishing a cruel regime after Spain's War of Independence. Goya obliges the king's request for a portrait, but his depiction not only fails to flatter but reflects the terrible darkness and grotesqueness. More than a century later, transcending conventional time, Goya observes Franco's body lying in state, experiences again a dark and monstrous despair. Anyway, Goya is one of my favorite painters, and I like this series, the Marilys World Republic of Letters. I like this series here. I get another one coming in the mail. So anyway, I got that in the mail. Anyway, these are the books I got at the $1 a bag sale at Bluestocking's bookshop. I picked up William Achman, who was the time of the Scholastics. I was reading him just recently about medieval theology. And this is a little treatise, Predestination, God's Foreknowledge and Future Contingents, translated with introduction, notes, and appendices by McCord Adams. You know, it's only, I put it in my $1 bag. I can't pronounce this name, but the autobiography of Battista Vica. He's a very, he was the greatest Italian philosopher of the 18th century, generally considered the founder of modern philosophy of history. So I got that. This is translated from the Italian by Marx Harold Fish, Thomas Gulliard Bergen. It's not marked up, which is I was surprising. Usually goes for $6.90, but I got it for put in my $1 bag. This is marked up. I collect books on Virginia Woolf. This is like biography, literary criticism. I didn't know it when I bought it that it was marked up, but it's okay. I collect books on Virginia Woolf. See, it's marked up. But anyway, I collect books on Virginia Woolf. So I got this, put it in my $1 bag by Daniel Delchis. Then I found a Murakami novel, Norwegian Wood, translated from the Japanese by, who's it translated by? J. Rubin. I collect Murakami, and when I saw this at Bluestockings for the $1 bag sale, I didn't know if I had this one. I have a lot of Murakami, and I didn't have this one. I don't like movie covers. This is now a major motion picture, but I thought, hey, I'll put it in my $1 bag. Why not? Then I collect books on American history, the American West. This is Frontier Rebels, The Fight for Independence in the American West, 1765 to 1776, by Patrick Sapiro. Yeah, I never heard of this historian. It says, Patrick Sapiro is a librarian and director of the American Philosophical Society Library in Philadelphia, the oldest learned society in the United States. He previously taught history at Williams College, but I put it in my $1 bag. Why not? Also, I found this American Empire, 1945 to 2000, The Rise of Global Power, The Democratic Revolution at Home by Joshua B. Freeman. Says he's an acclaimed labor historian, but it looked interesting, so I threw it in my $1 bag. I don't think I had any other books by him. But anyway, A Landmark History and Epic Portrait of America in the Latter Half of the 20th Century. So I picked that up. Then I picked this Custer's Trials, The Life on the Frontier of a New America by T.J. Stiles, winner of the Pulitzer Prize. I have his book on the first tycoon, The Epic Life of Cornelius Van Bilt, winner of the 2009 National Book Award in Nonfiction and the 2010 Pulitzer Prize in Biography. And he also wrote Jesse James, The Last Rebel of the Civil War. But this is his book, The Custer's Trials, which is on George Armstrong Custer. It's like a biography on him. So I threw this in my dollar bag. I've been reading this one I got at the dollar bag sale today, Following the Star from the East, Essays in Honor of Archimandrite Boniface Luykx. He's a Catholic Catholic Orthodox priest. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in Eastern Orthodoxy, Catholic Orthodoxy. So I've been Following the Star, Essays in Honor of Archimandrite of Boniface, Luykx, edited by Andrity. I can't pronounce any of these names. It's terrible. But it's a picture of him. So I was reading this today. Then I picked up 1898, The Birth of the American Century by David Traxel. I have another book of his. I can't remember what it is right now. But David Traxel, 1898, The Birth of the American Century, tells the story of the watershed year, a year of foreign conflict, extravagant adventure, and breakneck social change that forged the new America, a sudden empire with far-flung possessions, dynamic new player upon the global stage. So, pick that up. I found this Farley Mawat, A Boat Who Wouldn't Float. This is a memoir, A Great Adventure of Man Against the Sea, or was it Man Against Boat? I have other books by him. I have his book on Siberia, the Siberians, People of the Deer I have by him. I have to find those when I'm down here. So I found that, put in my dollar bag. This is American Theocracy, Peril and Politics of Radical Religion, Oil, and Borrowed Money in the 21st Century by Kevin Phillips. Updated with a new preface covering the 2006 election. He's known as a labor historian. From one of America's premier political analysis comes an explosive examination of the coalition of forces that threatens the nation in the 21st century. And then I found, looks like a textbook, The History of Russia, 8th edition by Nicholas V. I can't pronounce their names. I collect books on Russian history because I read a lot of Russian literature. And of course Russia is always in the news right now because of its invasion of Ukraine and how it's trying to destroy the Ukrainian people. And then A Conspiracy So Immense, The World of Joe McCarthy by David M. Oskis. This is the historian David M. Oskis reveals the internal and external forces that launched Joseph McCarthy on his political career, carried him into the national prominence, finally triggered his decline and fall. More than a life of intensely, even pathologically ambitious man. However, A Conspiracy So Immense is a fascinating portrait of America in the grip of Cold War, fear, anger, suspicion, and betrayal. So, got this for, you see, So I got that. And then I picked up, lastly, the last book I picked up, looks like it was a library withdrawal from West Ottawa High School. It's The Last of the Alchemists, Count Cagliostro, the Master of Magic in the Age of Reason by Iain McCalman. When I was cataloging this in my library thing, it was on Freemasonry and alchemy, and it's recommended by Peter Gay, who wrote Freud, A Life of Our Time. I don't know. I'm always coming across, if you read a lot of European history about secret societies and medieval, about alchemy. So I threw it in my dollar bag. So those are the books I got for $1. So now I gotta find a place to put them. Like I said, I was reading tonight, I was reading that book on this book, Following the Star from the East. Yeah, there was a chapter in here on, it was called, it kind of looked interesting, The Monk as a Philosopher. That's what I was going to read. I was reading the one, Spiritual Fatherhood in Eastern Monasticism. So I'm kind of reading this tonight. I usually read nonfiction from 1 until evening, and then I'll read something, a novel or something. I've still been reading Not to Read, essays by Andrea Sombra, I can't pronounce his name. And I'm still reading the letters of Gustav Faber. You know, I have time here. I'll show you these other books over here. I might as well. I got these at Bluestockings recently. This is a biography on the painter, illustrator, Andrew Wyeth, A Secret Life by Richard Merriman. And then I picked up this novel at Bluestockings last week, not today. A Place in the Mind by Sidney Lee, a novel. And I picked this up at Gateway Thrift Store, Fixation Lullaby, a novel by Justin Tussing. I got this at Bluestocking this week. Saw Billows. These are, it all adds up from the dim past and uncertain. These are like essays and different articles and stuff that he wrote. Saul Bellows, you know, he's a very famous American writer. He wrote reviews. He's the author of 12 novels, 2 short story collections, was awarded the 1976 Nobel Prize for Literature. He has won the Pulitzer Prize, 3 National Book Awards, the 1990 National Book Foundation Medal for Distinguished Contribution to American Letters, a lifetime resident of Chicago. He now lives in New England, but he's passed on into glory. I got this at Bluestockings this week. Trained for Genius, The Life and Writings of Maddox Ford. This is a biography by Douglas Goldring. I this at Gateway Resale Shops, 7 Ages of Paris by Oster Horn. I had this other book by him in my library about Alistair Horn, The Price of Glory, Verdun in 1916. Then I picked up at Gateway Resale Shop this biography, Everybody Was Young, Gerard and Sarah Murphy, The Lost Generation Love Story by Amanda Vale. I have another biography on Gerard and Sarah Murphy. They hung around in Paris in the 20s with Hemingway and other writers. So I was really pleased to find this. And then I found this book at Gateway Resale Shop, The Great Fortune, The Epic of Rockefeller Center by Daniel Okerent. I have his book. I had another book by him called The Last Call, The Rise and Fall of Prohibition by Daniel Okerent. So I found this book this week at the Resale Shop, Gateway. Oh, this one. So these are books I found. It's going on 20 minutes. So you might call this a Bluestocking bookshop, $1 bag, and some books I found at local resale shops this week to add to my lower level library. So yeah, I'm still reading. I'm almost finished with Philip Roth, Zuckerman, Bound. So I'm always reading, I'm always writing, I'm always looking for books, and just trying to keep my eyes on the prize, run the race, pray for the second coming of Christ, bring an eternal kingdom of glory in this horrible mess this world's in. So I hope you had a good reading week. Today is a Thursday. That's right, it's a Thursday, October the 26th, coming to the end of the month, going into late fall. Supposed to get some sprinkle of snow this week. So I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the new subscribers. Do pray you're all doing well. Keep praying for Israel. Pray for the Palestinians. Pray for the Ukrainians. Pray for the Russians. Pray for all of humanity, that we would all come to Christ and live under His reign, and pray for His soon return. Until next time. And also pray for Washington, D.C., that those people in Washington, D.C. would get their act together and start thinking about the American people and what is good for the American people, and not for their party or their whatever you call it, their right-wing extremist radical agenda. Just think about what is good for all of Americans, all races, all sexes, children, young people, old people. Think of what is the general good for the American people and for the world, because we have to uphold certain values. And anyway, I'm just rambling, so I'll sign off. Once again, thank you for your comments and subscribing. Until next time, bye.